What up, my dudes? It's Space Roach, and today we're going to talk about the Meta Quest 3S, why you might want one, and why you might not. Now, before we get started, I would like to put out there that Meta did hook me up on a free copy of this headset, so I could get a feel for it and make this review video. That said, it's not really going to have any influence on the way I feel about the headset or what I'm about to tell you about it. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the headset. The Quest 3S was announced last month at Meta Connect and shocked the audience when it was announced for half the price of the current Meta Quest 3, but with the same Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chipset as the Quest 3, and the same color pass-through, same controllers, and just a few differences. Let's go ahead and talk about those. Of course, the main difference you're going to want to know about is the lenses. In the Quest 3S, they went with Fresnel lenses as opposed to the pancake lenses that they used in the Quest 3. The resolution on the Quest 3S is about 20% lower than that of the Quest 3. And when I sat down and A/B tested my Quest 3 versus my Quest 3S, played a game in one and then the same game in the other, the difference was pretty noticeable. And that difference really stayed noticeable for about 5 minutes of gaming until I started to get immersed in the game, and then everything faded back into, wow, this is pretty cool. I thought gaming still looked great in the Quest 3S. Everything was still much more crisp and clear than it was in my Quest 2. I thought the controller tracking overall was just as good as in my Quest 3, and the mixed reality pass-through looks pretty much identical. Now that said, there were a couple of places where it fell a little bit short. And that leads us to another difference between the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, is the Quest 3S doesn't have a depth sensor, which makes a little bit of a difference in mixed reality. As you can see here when I'm playing Starship Home, the placement on the wall is just a little bit off compared to where it was in my Quest 3 video about Starship Home that I published last month. I've also noticed the range on the hand tracking isn't quite as great. It's really not able to track both hands at the same time if you're doing different things, and seems to have a little bit narrower range where it loses track of your hands. And if you're wondering about the physical size of the Quest 3S versus the Quest 3, the Quest 3S is about the same weight, but a little bit longer. Not quite as big as the Quest 2, but check this out. We're going to look at it side by side here with my Quest 3, and you'll notice here that the Quest 3S is a little bit longer. It's going to come a little bit further off your face, which makes it slightly less comfortable. And of course, comfort is always an important factor when deciding on a VR headset. So with all of that said, let's talk about reasons why and reasons why not. So to break tradition with my other videos, we're going to start with the why nots. And this one's a big one for VR enthusiasts if you're looking for a significant jump from the Quest 2 to your next headset. The Quest 3 definitely looks better. It's got a bigger sweet spot, the lenses look better, the resolution is about 20% higher, the field of view is about 6 degrees wider, the hand tracking is a little bit better, the depth sensor makes mixed reality just a little bit cleaner. And right now, as of this moment, the Quest 3 is still the best standalone VR headset on the market today, and the one that I use the most in my house right now. And now on to the pros of the matter, because I'm not at all telling you not to buy a Quest 3S. In fact, this is still a pretty good option, because if you are new to VR, if you're just thinking about getting your first headset, you want to dip your toes in, and you don't know if you want to spend the money that it costs to get one of these back here, the $300 dipping your toes in option is still pretty good. It's still a significant bump from the Quest 2, even though it's not quite as good as the Quest 3. It still has the new chipset, it still has the color pass-through, it still has the same controllers as the Quest 3. It's still able to play the new Batman game that comes out next week, and other experiences that are going to be Quest 3 only. I mean, we're likely to see a lot of that in the next year. It's pretty obvious that Meta is trying to move you from your Quest 2 to a Quest 3, get you on that new chipset so they can start phasing out the old one. So while Batman might be the beginning of the Quest 3 exclusives, it's definitely not going to be the end. So if you're looking to upgrade and not necessarily looking for a huge jump in your graphics, this is still a really good option at $299. And on top of it, you're getting a lot at that price. On top of getting the Quest 3, you're getting Batman Arkham Shadow that comes out next week. You're getting 3 months of Quest Plus. And if you use my link down there in the description, you're getting an extra $30 Quest Cash on top of that. So is it worth it to go after a Quest 3S? Hopefully the things we've talked about just now leave you informed enough to make a better decision on your Quest 3S versus Quest 3 choice. Of course, personally, I still recommend the Quest 3. It's the best headset that's out there for standalone, and no matter where you go with it, I want to thank you for watching my video, clicking the like button, and even the subscribe button. Until next time, my dudes, live long and prosper. This is Space Roach VR.